Once a skilled and ruthless hitman, Frank had managed to leave his violent past behind and settle into a quiet life of retirement. He resided in a small town, far away from the dangerous world he used to inhabit. However, his tranquil existence was about to be shattered by an unexpected visitor. One day, Leonard, an old acquaintance from Frank's past, showed up at his doorstep. Leonard was a powerful figure involved in criminal activities, and he needed Frank's lethal skills one last time. Despite his reluctance, Frank agreed to meet with Leonard, hoping that he could convince him to leave his past behind. At the meeting, Leonard shared the tragic news of his daughter, Nikki's death. According to the official report, Nikki had died in a hit-and-run accident, but Leonard firmly believed it was no accident. He suspected foul play and was determined to find her killer. Frank sympathized with his old friend's grief but was initially hesitant to get involved. Leonard, however, had leverage over Frank, secrets from his past that he could expose if Frank refused to help. Reluctantly, Frank agreed to assist Leonard in seeking justice for Nikki. Together, they started investigating the circumstances surrounding Nikki's death. As they dug deeper, they discovered suspicious leads that pointed to an organized crime network operating in the area. It seemed that Nikki's death might be connected to something more significant than they had initially thought. During their investigation, they encountered dangerous criminals, shady informants, and dangerous encounters, putting their lives at risk multiple times. Frank's instincts and combat skills proved invaluable as he navigated the treacherous underworld once again. As Frank and Leonard gathered evidence, they uncovered shocking revelations about the criminal activities occurring in their town. Drug trafficking, money laundering, and illegal enterprises thrived under the control of a ruthless cartel leader known as Anderson. As the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, Leonard realized that Nikki's death was a result of a sinister plot to silence her, as she had inadvertently stumbled upon evidence of Anderson's illegal activities. Determined to bring Anderson to justice, Frank and Leonard devised a plan to take him down. They knew that directly confronting Anderson would be suicidal, so they decided to dismantle his criminal empire from within. Frank used his knowledge of the criminal world to infiltrate Anderson's operations discreetly. He gathered vital information about the locations of Anderson's drug facilities, gambling spots, and the network of strip clubs used for money laundering. Working stealthily, Frank eliminated Anderson's henchmen one by one, leaving a trail of bodies that sent ripples of fear throughout the criminal underworld. With each successful hit, they grew closer to their ultimate goal, Anderson himself. Their relentless pursuit did not go unnoticed, and soon Anderson's men began hunting them down. The danger escalated, and Frank and Leonard found themselves in a deadly game of cat and mouse. In a heart-stopping climax, Frank finally tracked Anderson to a secluded mansion on the outskirts of the town. Leonard, consumed by grief and rage, demanded to face Anderson himself. Frank reluctantly agreed, knowing that the confrontation could end in disaster. As the final showdown approached, tensions ran high. Frank and Leonard faced overwhelming odds as they stormed Anderson's heavily guarded compound. The air crackled with tension as bullets flew, and explosions rocked the once serene landscape. In a dramatic face-off, Leonard finally confronted Anderson, demanding answers for his daughter's death. As the truth unfolded, Leonard's thirst for vengeance consumed him, and he aimed to kill Anderson in cold blood. However, Frank, having experienced the devastation of violence firsthand, stepped in to prevent Leonard from becoming a murderer. He reminded Leonard that killing Anderson wouldn't bring Nikki back and would only perpetuate the cycle of violence. In a moment of clarity, Leonard put down his gun and allowed the authorities to arrest Anderson. Justice had been served, and Leonard finally found closure for his daughter's death. With the ordeal behind them, Frank and Leonard parted ways. Leonard chose to start anew, leaving behind his criminal past to care for Nikki's memory in a positive and constructive way. As for Frank, he returned to his quiet life in the small town, haunted by the violence he had once embraced. He found solace in the memories of his friend Leonard and Nikki, hoping that he had made a difference by helping them find justice. The story of Fatal War is a tale of redemption, vengeance, and the indomitable human spirit. It explores the consequences of violence and the struggle to break free from a past defined by bloodshed. Through Frank and Leonard's journey, the movie conveys the powerful message that sometimes the most profound battles are fought not with fists and guns, but with forgiveness and understanding. Lessons from the story. The past cannot be escaped. The story emphasizes that one's past actions and choices have a way of catching up with them, no matter how far they try to distance themselves from it. Frank's retirement from his violent past does not prevent him from being pulled back into the world he sought to leave behind. Grief and vengeance can cloud judgment. Leonard's overwhelming grief and desire for vengeance cloud his judgment, leading him to make rash decisions that could have severe consequences. The story highlights the importance of maintaining a clear mind in the pursuit of justice. Seeking closure and justice, the story illustrates the powerful human need for closure and justice when faced with the loss of a loved one. Leonard's determination to find the truth behind his daughter's death reflects this universal desire. The impact of secrets and leverage. Leonard's ability to leverage secrets from Frank's past highlights the impact of secrets on personal relationships and the power they can hold over individuals. The complexity of good and evil. Fatal War delves into the complexities of human nature, portraying characters who possess both good and evil traits. Frank, once a hitman, is now a conflicted man seeking redemption, while Leonard, a powerful figure, seeks justice for his daughter. Consequences of violence. The story underscores the far-reaching consequences of violence and how it can perpetuate a cycle of vengeance and destruction. It serves as a cautionary tale about the potential cost of resorting to violence as a means to an end. Forgiveness and understanding. The story emphasizes the power of forgiveness and understanding in breaking free from the cycle of violence. Frank's efforts to prevent Leonard from becoming a murderer highlight the importance of seeking peace and closure through non-violent means.